That was actually really good. When it rains, it pours, and we've had another Nintendo event. Now, I'm not going to call this a Nintendo Direct. I don't think that the actual term for these is a Nintendo Direct, but it is an Indie World presentation for Nintendo. So yeah, there's a bunch of indie games that are coming out for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2 platform. I want to kind of have a quick look at it because this one was really good. Like, everything that I saw, for the most part, I loved. So the first game that came on before anything else even happened, before the intro to the show even happened, we had another look at Mina The Hollower. And this is a game from the team behind Shovel Knight and all of that amazing franchise as well. We saw this at another event a couple of weeks ago, and it looked good then, but it just looks even better now. And to know that there's a Switch demo available for it, as well as the fact that the handheld version is in 120 frames a second, it's just nuts. And yeah, I know, look at it. It looks like a Game Boy Color game, but that's part of the charm and part of the aesthetic. It looks really good. It's something that I'm definitely going to delve into. As soon as I can get some free time when I'm not playing the Battlefield 6 beta, I'm going to try and dive into this demo and just try and check it out and see what it's all about, because it looks on the outset like something that I'm really going to enjoy. And if you do enjoy your 2D isometric sort of adventure games, you know, like Zelda games were, you probably are going to enjoy this, so I would urge you to try and check it out. And then we had the actual show intro, and yes, this is not a game that's been announced, but I do have to make something very clear here. Nintendo, can you stop hiring people that sound like they're presenting a children's TV show to do these indie world broadcasts and these Nintendo Directs in general, because it kind of felt a little bit patronizing, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted someone to talk to me like a real human being, which would, you know, go a long way. But I know that there's a target market here and I might be a little bit too old for it. I mean, my knees constantly remind me of that, but still, it would be nice to have someone who just talks like a normal person. Maybe me. Well Dweller was next up, and bloody hell, it looks good. The art style alone was just amazing. It looks so creepy, but also really charming at the same time. It looks like it's going to be like a Metroidvania style game, given the way that they showed the map off on the screen, but everything just looks so cool. This is a game which I did not expect when I started watching this direct, or sorry, Indie World. It looks amazing. It is definitely something that I want to try out, and it's definitely something that I'm probably going to pick up. It looks so good. Just how unsettling do these monsters look? Just everything about it. And like the character you play as has got a load of charm as well. So they've really nailed this one. I say to you, Life Sim. You say to me, probably Stardew Valley. But that's not what this is. This is Neverway. And it's totally different to that, for the most part. It's all about taking over a farm, running it, but then also being like a consort or a responsible person for a deity. And yeah, it just looks really creepy, and I love the twist on it. I think that's a really interesting take to have on this sort of genre of game. It looks unsettling, but in a cute way, because it is potentially they've classed it as kind of a horror game, but I guess like in theme alone it could be classed as horror. But yeah, this looks like it could be a lot of fun. And for me, this was when I realized that this presentation was gonna be something special, because we're 3 games in and I hadn't seen a miss yet. I loved it. I love the art style. I love the look of it. It looks really charming. I'm trying to not listen to the presenters when they talk over it, but yeah, the whole thing just looked really good. I'm really into the idea of this game. It's not something I would normally go for. And if you're like me, you're probably sitting there thinking like, oh, I can't be bothered with like a life sim and a farm sim style game. But yeah, me neither. But there's monsters and horrors in there that aren't going to keep me up at night. And then we saw Herdling again. And every time I see this game, I get a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. It looks absolutely adorable. I did listen to someone else talk about this game. I think it was Arlo, when they mentioned probably going to break their heart when one of their herd dies. And that's something that I'm not ready for. I wish people would not put that out there in the universe, because I do not want that to be part of the game. My herd will stay alive for the entire game. I will not suffer any heartbreak. But the fact it's coming to Switch 2 is super cool. This looks really fun. I'm super excited for it. It looks super cutesy. The art alone looks great. The music sounds amazing. Everything about it just looks super relaxing and super heartfelt. We don't really know how it's going to play. I think there's a demo coming for it at some point, but it looks super cool. We went back to a more, what I would class as, you can obviously tell as an indie game, and it's all about putting people in the right seats. It's called Is This Seat Taken? And I don't know why, but when I saw this, the charm of the shapes and characters alone made me smile and go, you know what, actually, yeah, this could be a laugh. I think they said it's out now. I could be wrong on that, don't quote me. It just looks super cutesy, super charming, and like a super pleasant puzzle game, I guess, would be the right genre for it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's caught me off guard. And again, it's another, we're 5 games deep now, I think we are, if I can math properly. And we haven't missed yet. This is how you do a presentation. Little Kitty Big City was up next with an update, which has got like a photo mode, like more photo mode stuff in there and stuff like that. I wasn't 100% certain what was being advertised here, because I think this game's already out, but this is just like a software update for it. But it looks really cute. If you haven't played Little Kitty Big City, you're the same as me, because I haven't either. But it looks really, really good. I love cats. I wish I could have one. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it looks super cute and super charming. And if you are a cat person, which I know a lot of you are, it's the internet, who doesn't love animals? And if you don't love animals, what's wrong with you? But it looks super cute. Super cool. Check it out. There's an update if you've already got it, so you've got more stuff coming your way. And we got some games which are coming out just for Switch 2. So I think the last batch of games were all like Switch 1 games, which are also coming to Switch 2, obviously, because you can play them backwards compatible. But these games are just Switch 2. And this first one was called Content Morning, and it gave me big like Repo vibes. So if you've seen Repo, it's like a PC game which you would play with your friends, and there's 4 of you to go in to try and get these items and then get back out. Or there's a lot of games that came up like that, with these a lot of proximity chat and stuff like that. And it looks like a really interesting genre which is growing, which is pretty cool. This kind of looks like it's similar to that. It uses game chat. You'll be there with 3 of your friends. Well, I say friends, they could be your friends. They're just 3 people you know. Basically going down to the depths of this like water area, ocean, I guess, sea, I don't know, lake, who knows what it is. And you are filming stuff to put onto like their version of YouTube to then get likes, clicks and views and make money that way for it. That hits a little bit too close to home sometimes. But all the while, like, it's a scary game, like you're filming like paranormal stuff happening, and like you've got to get out and survive and all that. And it looks like a really interesting concept. It's nice that something like this has come into the Switch 2, because it's a genre, like I said, which is growing, and this was like, it could be a good little twist on that. And if you told me I was gonna get a roguelike Arkanoid game, I'd never believe you, but here we are. This was probably the first one where I went, that might not be for me. However, I did look at it and go, that does look like a quite interesting take. It's a roguelike game based on Arkanoid where balls are bouncing all over the place. You've got to like hit them back, and there's boss fights in there, there's power-ups, there's different characters that have different abilities. You then build your own sort of settlement, which has got like perks it can give you as well. The whole thing looked off the wall, and it looks really interesting. I don't know if it's something for me, but I do like that people are pushing the boundaries with this genre and just trying new stuff. And that is the heart of what indie gaming has always been in my eyes. Definitely an interesting take on it. Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. I don't know what that title is meant to be about. It looks like it's a racing game where you create your own tracks as you go, maybe? I wasn't 100% certain. It looked a bit weird. Definitely indie. But yeah, maybe this one I would sit out. It is an 8-player game, or up to 8-player game. Just not something that really grabbed me. But the art style, the naming, everything looked like it was having fun. And I say that in a lot of videos, but having fun is the main reason why we play these video games. And then Glacier was up next. And it's probably the first game on this list where I can definitely say I'm not going to play it. And it's no slight against the game itself, it just doesn't look like it appeals to me. It's like a 3D action platforming game or adventure game, and yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. But I like the look of it. It looks like an interesting like art style and everything, and like the characters look cute, and the characters look like really interesting. But just, yeah, it didn't sit with me. It didn't really get me like excited like some of the other games did. But if it does look as up your street, then hey, it's coming out. We then had a sizzle reel of some games pop up, and again, I'd argue that most of the games in this sizzle reel looked really interesting. There was one about like sacred, like haunted antiques and stuff, and that looked really cool. There's a couple in there that made me just go, wow, this looks like it could be something fun, and how has no one thought this before, or how has no one like mass marketed this before? And then it ended with UFO 50. And UFO 50 is kind of like a callback to those classic like multi-games in one thing. Kind of like Action 51 used to be, if you know what that was. Seriously, if you haven't seen the Action 51 episode of Angry Video Game Nerd, I would encourage you to go watch that. I'm going to put a link to it here if I can, because it's just an iconic episode. But UFO 50 is kind of like that, but not broken. It could be a good laugh. It's a lot of games in 150 to be precise. It's about $25. I'm a little bit about paying that much for games like this, but hey, look, it's had a lot of hype behind it. It could be a good laugh. And there you have it. That's the Indie World presentation. And you know what? Like, that is how you do one. That was 15 minutes or so, just give or take. And it looked incredible. Every single thing about that was pretty much a hit. I think they were, the only misses there were things that didn't appeal to me, but I could still respect them as good games. It looked really fun, really interesting. The only thing I didn't like were the presenters' voices, but it's Nintendo, what are you gonna do? It looked like a really interesting thing. I am really excited for Mina The Hollower. I am gonna check that out as soon as I possibly can. There's just so much coming out, which makes me super excited. And these types of games are what were really good on the Switch 1, and I really hope that it continues with the Switch 2. But seriously, Herdling, if you make me upset, I will be sending you a stern letter.